Hello, welcome. This is TNT, the Great British Wrestling podcast for Great British Wrestling, and this week's episode is all about collaboration. I am at Brit Wres Otaku, Mr. Andrew Moore, Andy to most, and as you can see, well, it's just me. But don't worry, yesterday I did have Mad Dog Mike Angus as a guest co-host, as we talked Wrestle Tours, Progress Wrestlemainia weekend, being part of the GCW Collective, TNT Extreme Wrestling, Title Wrestling, and more. Unfortunately, he had only had an hour available, and there's so much more I wanted to talk about in this week's episode. So technically, there are two parts to this episode, so that I can quickly go over some of the other incredible things happening in British wrestling right now. And as I mentioned, this week's episode is all about collaboration, and I'll be talking about lots of promotions collaborating together in the near future. And then there will be my chat with Mad Dog Mike Angus, followed by some of our top picks for the month of April. As the next episode in 2 weeks' time will actually be the first Great British Wrestling draft of this new season of TNT, if you like. So I'm really looking forward to that. Due to the fact that we're going to be doing that episode, I wanted to try and cram in as much April shows as I could. So I've got my top picks listed for you guys out there. Get your notepads out, get your things, get your calendars out, your schedules out, and start making your preparations to go to some of these incredible shows. But right, as I said, collaboration. So let's talk about some news about promotions that are collaborating that have come out over the last couple of weeks. Let's just say that. Starting with Attack Pro Wrestling, North Wrestling, and Hustle Wrestling. So yeah, Attack, North, and Hustle are all joining forward. Attack, North, and Hustle are all joining forces. That's the right word. To present a pro wrestling extravaganza. All caps, all days. 3 shows, 1 day, taking place on the 24th of August, the day before All In. And this all goes down at the Garage in London. You know that North Wrestling is deep in my heart. I have great love for them. Wrestling Pizza vibes is what it's all about. Attack Wrestling, a really fun promotion. I don't know much more about Hustle Wrestling. They don't seem to have an on-demand service. Nothing. They don't seem to be keeping up with Cage Match, so I can't see what's been happening with them. But it's just going to be an amazing day, an amazing showcase of 3 great companies. Of course, Attack Pro Wrestling are based in Wales, Cardiff. North Wrestling are based in Newcastle, and Hustle Wrestling are based in London. So, really looking forward to see what these guys put on together. A great opportunity, just more opportunity for some more great wrestling over that all-in weekend. I think it will be difficult to rival everything that's going on, not including AEW, of course, but there'll be, I'm sure, Progress have got something planned, and we do know that Rev Pro UK have already announced their upcoming show. Staying with Attack Pro Wrestling quickly, though, is they're joining forces with New Wave, and they're going to be coming together for 3 shows throughout this year for some live pro wrestling at the Club 100 in Cardiff on the 26th of April, July 5th, and December 13th. We've got more. We've got definitely a match to talk about later for the 26th of April show. Attack New Wave Wrestling is a really exciting match, and we'll be talking about that a little later in the show as part of our top picks for April. Next up, we got Rev Pro UK. As we just mentioned, Rev Pro UK have announced their show for the 21st of August, the day before All In, at the Copper Box, once again celebrating their anniversary. It'll be their 12th anniversary this year. It's quite amazing that the anniversary for Rev Pro UK lands exactly when AEW All In come down. It is fortuitous. Let's just say that. But keeping with Rev Pro UK, the London School of Wrestling, Rev Pro UK's London School of Wrestling, will be joining this year's Passion Pro Wrestling Summer Camp. out in Hungary, in Budapest, from the 15th to the 18th of July. And this is in conjunction, of course, with the Budapest Dojo, the guys from Passion Pro, the Arrows of Hungary, as well as New Wave Wrestling, of course, which is run by Brendan White, Danny Jones. You've also got Danny Luna. Flash Morgan Webster, of course, has got the New Wave West Midlands. So you've also got the WXW Academy, of course, coaches like Robert Dreisker, Rotation, and Peter Tahani, as well as the Sports Center Dresden Pro Wrestling. And this is a school run by the incredible Axel Tiska. I don't know how many young wrestlers do listen to this show, but if you are a young wrestler and you are listening to this show, you want to get yourself over to Hungary, get yourself on this summer camp. I mean, it's incredible. We're talking about 5 of the best academy coaching systems in Europe, all in one place. So much knowledge. A great place to make connections as well. Because, as I say, you're going to have a chance to talk to the guys from WXW. You're going to have a chance to talk to the guys from Budapest, Hungary. So get yourselves on it. I want to be there. I'm not even a wrestler, and I really, really want to be there. I might talk to Dover and Icarus and see if I can get a spot. Anyway, sticking with Rev Pro more, they're off to Spain on the 13th of April, where they'll be looking, where they will be working with Lucha Libre Barcelona, stars such as GYV, Michael Oku, and Amira, Leighton Buzzard, Luke Jacobs will all be in action over in Spain. Sunny Barcelona. Might be worth a trip if it's not that expensive to get to Barcelona and back. Hotels aren't particularly that expensive out there. Should be a fun show. I know this was technically set up by Gary Wall because it was supposed to be Wrestle Carnival, but of course Wrestle Carnival chose to stop producing shows, and he got Gary, our good friend Gary, started to work with Rev Pro UK. So this should be an excellent opportunity. There's some great guys over at Lucha Libre Barcelona, a fantastic company in Spain. So might be worth going over and checking out. And again, Rev Pro UK, this is a bit of an old story, of course, but I'm going to cover it anyway. They are welcoming the stars at CML back to the UK for Fantastica Mania 2024. For 2 shows in one day on the 19th of May. Loads of guys have been announced for the CMML guys coming over to the show. Of course, some of these names you will recognize because some of these names have recently been featured on AEW television. Of course, CMML just had a massive show at the Stardico Mexico Arena. You can see how huge it was. Daniel Bryan was there, of course, and a few others. But let's talk about some of the people who are going to be coming. Mystico, Stephanie Vega, Henchicero, Atlantis Jr., Neon, Magnus, Okumura, Masca Dorada, Barbaro Cavenario, Futuro, Angel del Oro, and Ultimo Guerrero, as well as a few more whose names I unfortunately cannot pronounce. I never studied Spain at school. I know a lot of schools do Spain and French now, but my school did German and French, and I actually excelled more in German, so that's why I'm. But anyway, this is a great opportunity for you guys, for Brit Wres guys out there, to see some of the incredible stars of CMML Mexico. They had the show last year in Manchester. I believe this year's show is in the London. Should be very, very interesting. Let's talk about the return of Charlie Evans to British wrestling soil. I know this is something Resurgence Wrestling, Pro Wrestling Eve have been trying to put together a mini tour for Charlie Evans to return to the UK. And, well, it's happening. Charlie Evans will be in action on the 1st of June for Wrestling Resurgence at their Return of the King show in Leicester. As I say, I know they work really hard with Pro Wrestling to bring Charlie Evans back to the UK for this tour. So again, more companies collaborating together. And of course, I know TNT Extreme have got into the action because they've announced that the Juicer Complex will be reuniting. Of course, that is Charlie Evans alongside Millie McKenzie when they first met together and competed together out at in Sendai, Japan for Sendai Girls. Absolutely fantastic to see Charlie back in the UK. And as I say, Medusa Complex will be reuniting as they challenge Emerson Jane and Rio on the 2nd of June at the TNT Ignition show. Really, really exciting stuff. That should be an absolutely fantastic match. Emerson Jane and Rio are just phenomenal. Millie McKenzie is definitely always going to be a great, and Charlie Evans is fantastic, and it's great to see her back in the UK. On to IWN, the International Wrestling Network. The IWN recently announced today have formed a partnership with IWE, Intense Wrestling Entertainment, based out in Georgia, USA. Which, according to the press release statement from IWN, will be a strategical partnership between the two promotions that will see talent opportunities across the Atlantic Ocean, a collaborative approach to content creation, which will all lead to further exposure for the brand with true international approach. So very, very exciting. I looked into it. I don't know who IWE are, Intense Wrestling Entertainment, so I decided to look into them. As I mentioned, they are based in Georgia, and looking through some of their past few shows, I do see a few very recognizable names, if you like. Colby Carino, seen on NWL. Crow, seen on MLW. Should be, of course, is a Brit Wres favorite. Sean Legacy has been a part of Pro Wrestling Noah. And Alex Kane, the Suplex Assassin. I know he's been a regular on MLW as well as GCW. Alex Kane has been announced for the International DIWN to help them celebrate their anniversary with a triple feature on the 15th, 16th, and 17th of May. First in the Milton Keynes, then in Hastings, and that's followed by an international. So it's the anniversary show, night 1 and night 2 in Milton Keynes and Hastings. And then it is an international battle royal based in Sevenoaks. What we actually know about the upcoming shows and what's happening is on the 16th of May in Milton Keynes, the show will be main evented by James Ellis as he defends his IWN World Championship against US independent star Alex Kane. Hollywood Haley J will defend the women's title against Kira Chimera in a rematch for the main event of night 2 of their anniversary show. Now one will be in Hastings. This is all off the back, of course, a successful double feature weekend at the end of last month with Parade of Champions, which was in Milton Keynes and is available on their YouTube channel to watch for free, as well as All Rose Leads South, which took place in Hastings and is available on their YouTube channel under their subscription tier for $2.99. What we did see was a new AEW Women's Champion crown. That was, of course, Hollywood Haley J. James Ellis retained his IWN Championship against two global stars in Gringo Loco and Leo Rush. Jay Joshua also had defended his championship, his Z-Force Championship, in two hard-fought matchups. It'll be interesting to see if Jay Joshua can last and defend it for 7 times and then cash in for a world title opportunity. Let's talk Brit King Pro in the Midlands of the UK. Brit King Pro's continued relationship with Dragon Gate will see stars such as Kota Minoura and Mega Pegasus for 4 shows in Swindon, Andover, Bristol, and Oxford. And this is on the 11th, 12th, 17th, and 18th of May, respectively. Shows will also feature Dragon Gate star Mochizuki Jr., who is, of course, on excursion with Brit King Pro from Dragon Gate. As well as those stars, you'll also see Brit Wres stars such as Chris Ridgway, Jack Selstrom, Nico Angelo, Lee Hunter, Sami Zayn, Tiger Ali, Bullet, Chris Bronson, and former WWE star Brian Kendrick. They also have 2 shows in April, which is part of our top picks for April. So more on that a little bit later. An interesting thing here from the Real Wrestling, which have introduced the Real Wrestling Network, which will feature promotions, 2 promotions so far. Infamous and Off the Page. Both of these promotions are based in the northwest area, I think in and around Liverpool. And their shows will now be available to stream for $4.99 a month. I do believe there is at least a free trial on it, so worth absolutely checking out. Next up, this is a little bit pushing the idea of collaborations. Obviously, I've been talking about British wrestling promotions collaborating with either other British wrestling promotions or other wrestling promotions out there. But Soft Pro, they've gone a weird way about it, and I like Soft Pro, and it's my show, so I decided that they're going to get a mention. Because Soft Pro continue their strange relationship with the stars or former stars of Coronation Street. So they've got their upcoming show, False Idols, on the 6th of May, and it will see the return of Les Battersby, who will be back again at Soft Pro, and with the LBWO, the Les Battersby World Order. This is basically the Banter Bus Boys, Tom Farewell, Danny Proper, Uncle Ryan. They'll be taking on the Right Way at their False Idols show on the 6th of May in Manchester. The Right Way, comprised of a team of Thatcher Wright, Big Ches, and Ryan Richards. And this is in a Coronation Street fight. Oh, right. This is just weird. And will the Right Way be connected to Ashley Peacock from Coronation Street, who is apparently coming in to confront Les Battersby and is going to the Butcher Club? Seriously, what is happening? Look, I don't actually, I'm not going to tend to say I'm a Coronation Street fan and I love all this from Soft Pro. I didn't watch soaps as a kid or a child. I didn't even watch EastEnders. I was from the South. I know there is great connection though between Coronation Street and the people of Manchester and the people of the Northwest area. I know there's lots of fans that really have been getting into this storyline, if you like. So absolutely fair play. It's a great way to get some media attention. I think it's fantastic what Soft Pro have been doing. They had a great show back in February, which is now part of their on-demand service over on their YouTube channel, just $2.99 a month, and you can catch all the action from Soft Pro. But let's talk about some of the other stuff that is going down at False Idols on the 6th of May. Have the CPF, Just Joe Lando and Danny Black, joined the Collective. Well, this is yet to be confirmed, but following what they did to the Quintessentials post-match at their last show, Sunshine Machine are coming to try and teach the CPF boys a lesson in sportsmanship. The CPF boys have never had a victory over Sunshine Machine. Will they finally be able to get a measure of revenge? Will they finally start to get some momentum rolling in Soft Pro? You've got a huge main event as Joseph Connors must defend the Soft Pro Championship in a tables, ladders, and chairs match. Of course, can't call it a TLC match. It's a tables, ladders, and chairs match with men like the Reese, Leighton Buzzard, and Sam Gradwell, as well as one opponent yet to be revealed. Very interesting. Lucia Lee continues her rivalry with the Decibels in a match with Alana Austin. Tony Wright takes on Chris Bronson. Chris Bronson is the newest recruit of the Collective. He took the place of Danny Duggan when Danny Duggan went over to Japan full time. This will actually be his first actual match in Soft Pro, so it'd be very interesting to see how Chris Bronson performs. I know there's a lot of buzz around this big heavyweight wrestler. Can Hayes, Joey Hayes, that is, finally get a win over the Collective as he's going to be in action against Bullet? Another Collective member, LA Taylor, defends the Women's Championship against challenger Emerson Jane. And Harley Hudson says goodbye to Soft Pro with an open challenge match. Be interesting to see that. Of course, Harley Hudson is going off to compete for TNA after winning the TNA gut check when TNA were over here last year. We wish her the best. We think she's going to absolutely smash it over in TNA. So good luck to her. Right now, I'm going to send you over to my conversation with Mad Dog Mike Angus. As we say, we talk Wrestle Tours, Progress Weekend in Wrestlemainia, the GCW Collective, TNT Extreme title, and a few more subjects. So make sure you stick around. I am joined by a man who's had many faces in Brit Wres, from being a ring announcer, interview, and commentator for the likes of TNT Extreme Wrestling, the general manager for Title Championship Wrestling, producer with Progress Wrestling, member of the Wrestle Tours team, as well as hosting his own feature newsletter now, the Mad Dog Monthly News on RealWrestling.net. He is the Mad Dog, Mike Angus. How are we doing, Mike?
Amazing to be here, Annie. Great to see you as always. And yeah, as you said, the Mad Dog has been keeping busy. We've had all sorts of shows going on last weekend. We had a fun weekend. I was in Hull, first of all, for All-Star Wrestling on Saturday. One of my favourite venues to ring announce it. It's got an amazing organ right at the back of the room. Epic stuff. So I was there on Saturday, and then Sunday back in Stratford-upon-Avon, Ettington for PEW. So Phenomenal Elite Wrestling. Had another busy weekend, including the Invisible Man was there, as people may have seen online. But exciting times. So yeah, always good.
I know Big Daddy Dan's actually done ring announcing for PEW previously. He actually spoke very highly because he spoke to him before he actually did his first ever ring announcing. So he was very grateful for that. He asked me to pass that on to you.
Oh, thank you. That's appreciated. Yeah, I do try and help anyone who's having a go doing the ring announcing. It can be a tough game, and sometimes underappreciated. But a good ring announcer can really make your show a better thing. And obviously, the crowd appreciate it when they know who the wrestlers are and you can hear it. We did have some microphone technical difficulties over the weekend, but my voice is loud enough to cover for that. So in a small town hall setting, I'm basically a town crier anyway. So we covered for that.
That's excellent. And of course, we're leading into WrestleMania week, and you're about to go away with Wrestle Tours, about to host another group of fanatic wrestling fans for WrestleMania. Are you looking forward to it?
Always. We have such a good time. We've got such a great fan base and a little family going on with Wrestle Tours. Loads of the guys who are coming this year were with us last year in LA. They had just the best time. And we go and we go to the shows. We take everyone along with us. We just have such a good laugh. We go to WrestleCon. We go to whatever's on at the Collective, and at the end of the day, we all started in wrestling as wrestling fans ourselves. We wouldn't be involved in it if we didn't love the product that people were putting out and didn't, just enjoy wrestling in general. So it's our passion, and we everyone comes along and gets swept along with what we're doing as well. And these guys who are coming to Philly who haven't been before, they aren't going to know what's hit them. It took some of them weeks to get over it. I was still seeing people a couple of weeks later at shows, and they were telling me I haven't recovered from LA yet. So yeah, exciting times. So we're heading out there next week, and yeah, it's going to be absolutely amazing. Looking forward to it. So much planned. One thing I should certainly mention is that Charlie Crovers has done amazingly with a suggestion I came up with last year, which was that we should all run up the Rocky Steps. But he's took it and made it his own and made it into an amazing charity thing, raising money for Marie Curie. So we'll add the donation link in the comments, and if anyone could donate, that would be really great. And yeah, it is a race up the Rocky Steps. We've challenged any wrestlers who are in LA who want to get involved to come and race up the Rocky Steps with us. But I think some of the Wrestle Tours gang are going to be going into that, and a few people I have heard have actually got fancy dress for it as well. So I'm going to have to ask Tape Mayfairs to tape up my hands because he used to be a boxer. So I'll definitely get my hands taped up for that, and I'm sure a few others will be. Charlie Crovers undoubtedly will be one of the Teletubbies. I'm guessing Tinky Winky, but we'll have to see.
Absolutely. And who do you think out of all the wrestlers would win in a race up the stairs?
Oh, that's a good question. A few of them are very sporty. Let me think. I think someone like Lizzie Evo might be a contender in something like that, or Leon Slater and
Yeah,
Nick Wayne. Nick Wayne's pretty speedy. I see your CPF hat in the background there. It could be if the lads from CPF are about. It could be one of them. Danny Black might be. And the obvious one to say, isn't it? It's Callum Newman. He's the Prince of Pace. So I mean, really, if he's over from Japan and he's involved, he's going to be trying to take the gold medal there for sure.
a lot of love for CPF and Callum Newman, absolutely smashing it in New Japan right now, and fair play to him. Absolutely, definitely going to be one of the best in the world one day, along with
Oh,
Leon Slater, Danny Black, and the rest.
brilliant talent. The UK has got just some of the best talent on the planet, and we're so lucky to get to see them as they're starting off in their wrestling journey and then making their way through the ranks, and to see them getting picked up and working in the States and everything. And it's such a big opportunity for these guys when they're over in the States. In the week coming up, it's they're going to be so many more eyeballs on them. We may not have seen them before, so just looking forward to it. And who knows who's going to break out next out of that bunch, because they're all so super talented.
Were you part of the progress team helping to get all these guys visas? Because we see a lot of them posting now, I've got a visa, I can work in the US. I know Lee has a background in that type of thing. So you guys have really been helping the guys do that.
Yeah, I think mainly the guys who were in the office were doing that, but they got that all sorted out for them, so everyone's happy. I think it's a hard process to make sure you get the right visas and everything for everybody. So yeah, the guys who are going to be working out there on the shows, they've got to have the right stuff so they're not getting in any trouble. And yeah, that's all sorted, all good for everybody. So I don't know, a lot of them have posted on social media about it, so they're obviously buzzing about it. So that's great to see that they're that progress has helped them out with that, and gives them other opportunities while they're out there, and obviously opportunities with Defy as well, who progress are working alongside. So great stuff.
Yeah, we'll definitely be talking about the Defy partnership because Progress Wrestling. I'm going to shield a mug right now for you guys. It's right there, the Progress Wrestling mug. I think it's £12.50 it cost me at the last show.
You've got the tee, I've got the tights, but I won't be showing them.
Oh, I've got to put them back on. It's going to be a great weekend for Progress, as you mentioned, the guys. The show so far has really been about showcasing what the British wrestling talent is about and what they can do to that United States audience. I know some people might have been hoping that Kid Like Us would face one of the top US stars, but we can certainly understand why Man Like Doris has been chosen. He's had a great run in Progress. He's when it was like 2 episodes back when myself and Big Daddy Dan talked about what was next for Kid Like Us and who was going to challenge him. Man Like Doris was one of the first names. I said he's the one on the roll at the moment. He's the one that's got the wins. And the two of them in the main event, they're going to absolutely smash it, aren't they?
Oh, definitely. And Doris has had opportunities before in Progress to win championships, and it hasn't happened yet for him. So I think it's going to be that singles championship I'm talking about, by the way. He's got a big opportunity there in the States, and he's got a big fan base over there as well from wrestling on GCW. And obviously, when we did TNT versus GCW in the UK, he was in the main event of that, featured really heavily on that. So yeah, the US fans know who he is, and he's going to get a great response there, and it's a huge opportunity for him. And the title could change hands in Philadelphia, and that'll be very interesting to see.
Yeah, absolutely. I can definitely see Man Like Doris giving it all he's got. I'm sure it'll be somewhat of a friendly encounter to begin with, but it'll soon heat up, much like what we saw with Leo Rush in Diamond Dust, where it all looked like it was going to be a fun and friendly, and then suddenly it switched.
It didn't off switch, didn't it? Somebody got his face slapped off, and it was ended up being pretty brutal. Yeah, so yeah, but Leo Rush, what a talented athlete! That Diamond Dust was a pretty special night. Anyone who didn't make it to the dome that night's going to be kicking themselves, because it was a really, really interesting show, very different from some of the other shows we've done. But to have Masato Tanaka versus Luke Jacobs on that show was just such a special match. And for me, it was raised on back in the day when you used to go and get your VHSs. I've still got me, where are they? Here we go.
The old ECW or
CW videos. Still got them, man. I keep all me wrestling stuff in here with me in my wrestling room. So yeah, you know, Masato Tanaka versus Mike Awesome was such a brilliant feud, wasn't it? And then when they did the one night stand match as well in 2005, I was just like, that's amazing. And then to think that Masato Tanaka is still wrestling at such a high level. That match he had with Luke Jacobs, he didn't miss a beat, and Luke looked in amazing shape as well. In that one, he's really been working hard in the gym, and he could be a dark horse for if he does the run, because I think he's really trimmed up, and I wouldn't be surprised if Luke Jacobs, if he's running up them rocky steps and he's throwing a few forearms and uppercuts and stuff, there's going to be people not making it up the steps.
Absolutely. I likened Luke Jacobs to Terry Gordy when I was talking about his recent match with Manders, because it reminded me of Stan Hansen and Gordy, just kind of two younger versions of it. And Jacobs, he's going to be very busy himself. He's got a great match, great challenge in Spike Trevay, former world champion. Again, I argued with Dan that he possibly could go down as the greatest Progress world champion in its history if we think of the rivalries that he had with both Kid Lycos and Cara
Noir.
Noir.
Yeah.
And then, of course, all the great matches he had along the way against Big Damo, Eddie Dennis, Dan Maloney. One of the longest reign, was it, in the end?
He did, yeah, well into, wasn't it, 400 days at least, and he did absolutely amazingly. And I think it'll be really interesting to see how the Vulture is after losing his championship. It'll be really intriguing to see how he approaches the match with Luke, because it must have been my second show for Progress in Manchester, a Technique chapter. Was it 129, 128, 129? It was Luke Jacobs versus Spike Trevay on that show. And if
Yes.
I remember correctly, I'm sure Charlie Crovers was about to back, causing trouble. I don't know if he was dressed as Tinky Winky that day, but he was certainly there shouting. But I'm sure that was the match where didn't Luke Jacobs seems to remember he pile drove Spike Trevay through a table in Manchester. I wouldn't be surprised if there's still some bad blood between those two, and we see it really kick off in Philly. And yeah, I'm excited for it. It's going to be brilliant. And Spike now was just when I last saw him at Tidal just the other week. Spike has gone to a whole new level of evil now. He is. I always liken him to being like the Emperor Palpatine out of Star Wars. Like he's just absolutely the dark side of wrestling completely. But yeah, he's somebody who has he's took on a new sort of aura about him, and he is just definitely somebody to watch out for. Dangerous, and being in the States, there's a lot of people who are going to be watching that show, and Spike Trevay's going to know that who's watching, and he's going to be trying to impress them. So I wouldn't be surprised if Luke Jacobs becomes a bit of a scapegoat for the Vulture, but we'll have to see. Luke's no layover though. He's a brilliant, muscular guy, as you said. Likened him to the likes of Stan Hansen. I was only watching a match the other day, which had I think it was Big Van Vader was one of the clips I saw. Another clip was the British Bulldogs fighting. I think it was Hansen and Gordy in that match, and it was just one of them clips that pops up on social media, and it showed it was Davy Boy in the ring with those guys, and crikey, some power going on there. What is it? Simon says he loves his meat.
Yeah.
Man.
Big men slapping man meat. Yes, that's the one. Yeah, Jacobs needs to win though, and I think that's going to be driving him if he wants to get into the title opportunity coming off the back of the Masato Tanaka match. I believe Spike's actually 2-0 against him with a championship match post the extreme match that you mentioned.
Yeah.
So Luke Jacobs really needs to come in and get a win here, and I'm sure it's going to be great. You mentioned big beefy lads. We have to talk about RKJ versus Yoichi. Yoichi again, a man that's desperate for a win, losing to a man like Doris at Diamond Dust. He's somebody who's going to need a win. He's found himself in a good opportunity. He's got himself a title match despite coming off a loss. So What do you make of RKJ's run?
Okay, Jay's excellent. He's a wrestler I've watched for a long time. The very first show I ring announced, his the dad, the UK Hooligans, was in the main event against must have been what was it, Big Damo, and who was his tag partner? Mastiff, Dave Mastiff. What a tag team that was! But
Yeah.
seeing the UK Hooligans and then seeing RKJ's rise to fame and how good he is, he's just he's took some of the best elements of what the Hooligans do, which is just pure out chaos and fighting brutality. Just two tough guys, and RKJ has just sort of seems to have like leveled it up to like absolute superstar level, and he is just so crisp. But Yoichi has got a lot better over the time he's been with Progress. I've seen. I say better. He's very trained and skilled, but he's got used to the UK audience now. He knows how to play off the crowd a little bit, and they really get behind him, and you can see it psychs him up. Gives him a bit more energy. So I'm going to be intrigued to see how that goes down in the States because it'll be interesting to see how the audience responds. It's going to be exciting for them to see some of the guys they might not have seen before. Especially like Yoichi might not have been over to the States before. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see how he gets on there. And RKJ hasn't had as many title defenses as I would have liked for him, really. I haven't felt like he's been able to showcase himself as much as he has done elsewhere in the past where I've seen him wrestle. So I'm hoping to see a lot more from him in Progress still over the coming months. So we'll have to see how that one goes down.
Yeah, very big fan of RKJ, as you say. Such a talented young man, especially considering his age. He's light years above where you probably expect somebody his age to be, but phenomenal. And he just keeps getting stronger and stronger. John Cena levels of strength, and he has to be the lightest Atlas champion there's ever been.
Very
I would
possibly,
have
but
thought so.
he makes up for that in the
Yeah.
passion that he shows and the heart and just the toughness. I think if he might win the Rocky Steps race, actually, everyone we've spoke about, you're throwing more horses into that race for us. But he's only today did I see someone on social media with him training, flipping a tire. The strength of the guy and the speed at which he's doing that. Them tires are heavy, and
Mm.
he's throwing that thing about. If he can throw that about, he can throw Yoichi about. I'll tell you that. So that'll be interesting to see, especially the strength of RKJ as well. That's going to be a match I'm really looking forward to as well. Yeah, so good stuff.
We've got women's championship action with Rio and Lana Austin. Rio, the first ever person to hold the Progress Championship and the ICW Championship simultaneously, whilst also holding the TNT Extreme Women's Tag Team Championships and the North NCL Tag Team Championship. She's holding gold in literally every top company in the country right now. Lana Austin she's just been so great for Progress. Really a superstar, well deserving. Her title reign was fantastic. And just, yeah, what a veteran.
Oh, brilliant! And Lana is an absolute superstar. But the only thing I worry about in America is getting distracted by the audience. It's always a distraction from the audience or trying to entertain people with Lana Oki. She's got to be laser focused if she wants to take out Rio. I know these two have battled, you know, at Progress but around the country as well and other times. And Rio is absolutely dominant at the moment. Another amazing athlete that we're speaking about. But Lana, we know she's got it in her, and we know she wants that title back. So that's going to be, a brilliant contest. And I think it's all just going to come down to if Lana doesn't get distracted by the crowd, doesn't get distracted trying to be the superstar. If she focuses, if her main focus is winning that championship back, she can do anything. Lana Austin.
Absolutely. We've got the tag team titles on the line. New tag team champions, the cheeky little buggers, will be defending their titles against Sunshine Machine and Sanity. Big Damo and Axel Tisca back together in the US, probably believe for the first time since their NXT era. Sunshine Machine, one of the best tag teams anywhere in the world right now. And the cheeky little buggers, they are desperate to prove that they deserve to be where they are right now as champions.
Yeah, they certainly do deserve to be there too. Amazing athletes, and I saw Alexis's tweet this week, and it's not about being a male or a female; it's about being an amazing wrestler. And Alexis Falcon is certainly that. I've watched her right the way through. I ring announced for her the when she won the Ironman match at Wrestle Island and became the Iron Queen. I was the first person to announce her as the Iron Queen. She's somebody who's just done absolutely amazingly to come from. The beginnings that I saw her have at RWA in Runcorn and to work her way up to see how she's got all around the country and has become a megastar wrestling now all over the world. And Crowley is just somebody who I've been watching with excitement for the last couple of years, who is just super talented, super talented. I've even seen him up at Edinburgh Fringe Festival performing in Mythos Ragnarok. And, just this tag team's sort of come together and they're training together as a tag team. And I think they'll be one of the best tag teams in the business because they're so passionate about wrestling. They're brilliant athletes as well, so entertaining, and just their characters and what they do in the ring comes together perfectly as the cheeky little baggers. And I think,
Absolutely.
but you say that they've not had much chance at Progress to show what they can do in the ring as a tag team yet. And I tell you what, this is going to be a tough one. Obviously, Sunshine Machine, longest reigning tag team champions. They were amazing as the tag team champions, and they want them belts back. And as well, Sanity, as you said, the first time they're going to be tagging back in the States since being on WWE. So it's huge. It's a huge matchup, that one, and I can't predict what's going to happen there. Knowing Crowley and Alexis, if they want to keep those titles, they're going to have to be using all the tricks that they've got. And trust me, they have got a lot of tricks. So that could be what happens there. We'll have to see.
Absolutely. Axel is so underrated as a performer. It really
Oh,
is one of the best wrestlers in the world. Technically
so
so
good.
sound.
Every
So sound.
time when I'm watching the shows and I'm seeing what's happening, it always brings a smile to my face when Axel starts just playing up and is just trying to getting the crowd behind him. And Joe Hendry did that song about him, and it's ended up being a massive chant everywhere you go. But Axel just has taken it to a whole new level. He's had matches. There was a match with Ricky Knight Jr. where them two were both in the ring, and it was just exquisite. He's just proved to everybody that there's no doubt that he's one of the best on the planet. And it's great that he's at Progress. It's a shame for him that he's not with WWE because he deserves to be there. But for us to get to see him on Progress, tag with Big Damo, just amazing. And when we had the Sanity reunion, that was I
Oh.
thought that was such a special moment. Anyone lucky enough to be in the Electric Ballroom that day, that was just an absolute treat. And to see all of them together, that was just amazing. And of course, big shout out to Dave Grunewald singing them out to the ring at that one. We had that one, Andy.
Yeah,
Was
no,
that
I wasn't.
Vendetta?
Yes, it was Vendetta, wasn't it? It was the large show back November last year. Available now on Demand Progress Plus. Go get yourself subscribed to it, and
Exactly.
check
Go back
out
and
that
watch
show.
that. Watch that entrance by Dave
Mm.
on there, and just check that out and see Sanity on that because that was such a special moment. And we've created some amazing memories over the last 2 years or so. It only popped up. It was the 12th birthday of Progress this week, and obviously we did the 10-year birthday. Right near the start of when Lee and Martin took over. It was about 4 or 5 shows in. We did like a week in London where we finished with the 10th anniversary in the garage, and it's the
Mm.
only show where I'm not actually behind the curtain. You can actually because there's no space in there to put a curtain up.
Yeah.
The only
Uh,
time you ever see the Wizard of Oz out on the stage, me and John working on that one together actually. So it was and that was the one where John put his headset down in the ring, and that was a special moment for him, and sort of an end of an era of Progress for sure. But yeah, we're creating
and the
some
start of
special
a new
memories.
era.
Hey, exactly. Yeah, that was chapter 127. It was the word was Progress, but they're all available to watch, as you said. on Progress Demand Plus. Go back and catch up, watch what's happened. There's so many exciting storylines we've told and moments that we've had. One of my favorites was when we did the Super Strong Style Day 3, Super Strong Style 16 Day 3. Must have been, what, 2022, was it, where we had the lineup and we had the Champions League theme play.
Yeah. I remember that one. I was at that one. So, yes, I did that for my stag do, actually, in fact.
Oh, amazing. And that was just one of those things that came up on the spot. I was like, why don't we line them up? The next minute, Scarbs is running to Sports Direct to pick up a footy.
Oh, the joys of running a show.
Yeah.
What we got? We've also got Session Moth Martina, possibly, finally, maybe teaming with Gene Money if you can get a flight off the ground. And they're going to be taking on Bussy, making a return to Progress.
Oh,
That's
amazing.
just going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, obviously we did Effie's Big Gay Brunch at TNT up in Liverpool, the European edition. So very familiar with those guys, and absolutely love hearing the stories from Effie and Ali Catch when we catch up with them, and some of the stuff those guys do just crazy. Absolutely brilliant. Though we've done a night with Effie and a night with Ali Catch for TNT. So and some of the stories and stuff they've got to tell just amazing. But yeah, this will be another special match as well. And I just hope I'm not on Martina's flight, because she's had flight issues for the last two shows.
Yeah,
And then when she arrived the other week, literally at the after the show, that Lycos has just won the championship, and then literally Martina walks through the door with a suitcase, and she says to me, "Am I too late?" And I just put her music on as people were leaving. I was just like, "That's it. You're having your theme tune. You're doing your entrance. Let's go." And she just came out and was dancing. Oh, madness.
See, that's why you have to be there live at every Progress Wrestling show, and
That's
not.
it. You really never know what's going to happen.
It was a great show. I was at that one, as you met, again, that cage match. That's whole thing with Kid
special.
Lycos. Yeah, I liken their feud very similar to Jimmy Havoc and Will Ospreay. That first real feud that put Progress on the map, but I felt like there was very similar parts, no, but in their own way. And I do think it was one of the greatest rivalries between Kid Lycos and Spike Trevay, as you say. Great.
Yeah, I've always respected and enjoyed Lycos's work. Worked with him for a long time, even before he was Lycos. I ring announced for him. But yeah, to see him reach that goal and reach that level, and the way it occurred with him winning Super Strong Style and all the moments that were created along the way, and I really think the fans have joined with him, and also I feel like the new theme music that he's using instead is just brilliant. Fits with exactly what he's doing, and it'll be interesting to see him in the States, and as well back in the UK. So let's keep seeing what's going to happen next.
Absolutely. He had some
Because
memorable matches
there's more story to be told, I think.
Yeah, he's had some memorable matches in the US previously with Progress as part of CCK, the Grizzled Young Vets out there. Their matches against was it Santana and Ortiz at one time as well? Like great rivalries. That is Freedom Walks again. There's going to be a multi-man match as well. Gringo Loco is going to is it going to be his debut for Progress?
I've ring announced from a TNT GCW before, and he was absolutely brilliant. He had a match with who was he? Who was he in with? I think he was in with Cyclope, and it might have been Ares Strange as well, and Latigo. But yeah, absolutely brilliant wrestler, Gringo Loco. He's had did he have a match? Might have had a match with Driller as well, but brilliant wrestler, and looking forward to seeing what he does in a Progress ring, especially in that multi-man match. Who's been revealed for that so far? I believe Simon Miller, Gringo Loco. Did I see Kid Lycos 2 announced for that?
Yes, he was announced today, Kid Lycos 2. We've also got Tate Mayfairs and Leon Slater. Will Tate Mayfairs continue his role, maybe? What an amazing guy.
Mayfairs. Woohoo!
I love that guy. He really is the
Oh,
greatest
goodness me.
wrestler to have ever walked planet Earth.
Well, he's the current TNT champion. He's doing the right things. Tate Mayfair's around the place, but we took him to the Etihad Stadium the other week on a bit of a press day before we did For the Love of Wrestling, and all I heard out of him all day was he was trying to impress everyone with it's just the classic Tateness is greatness, everyone. But he was telling everyone that Arsenal is greatness when he was at Manchester City. He's just consummate heel wherever he goes. You know, you can't get away from him and can't get away from him. Well, the trouble he's causing everywhere he goes, he's upsetting all the Man City fans and all the Man City staff, telling them Arsenal's great and all this. He's trouble, that man. We'll have to see how he gets on. And he's in the States now as well, I've been told. So the crikey.
I had
Chaos.
I've had the pleasure of interviewing Tate on two occasions. One of them before the Natural Progression series, and I questioned him so much on the brass knuckles. He walked out on me. He was terrible. Such a great guy, though. It really is. And yeah, fair play to him. He's really been up in his game week after week every time he's been out there. So that's progress. That's Freedom Walks again. It's going to be 5th of April. Is this going to be streamed live like the last few? Because I know most of the collective is going out
That's a
live.
really good question. I don't actually know the answer to that, to be honest, but it's something we'll definitely find out this week. If it is, it'll be advertised on all Progress social media, so we'll
Keep an
find
eye
out.
out.
Yeah,
Keep
I
an eye
think
out.
with some of the others, because we've been testing it out, so we've put them out complimentary for people to watch and enjoy. I'm not sure how long that's going to continue for, but I'm sure they'll keep us updated. But it's been good to see how the streams have been working and everything. Good to get the feedback from the fans. So if if you're watching it and want to let us know all about it, I think the only one we've had any issues with was when we did For the Love of Progress.
Yeah,
I think the internet was a bit hit and miss because where it is in Manchester, it's just a little bit away from like the city centre and stuff, and it was just the internet out there wasn't ideal for us, I don't think. But it looked to us like it was playing perfect, but then we had a few fans say, "Oh, it wasn't ideal." But that's why it's on at the moment, so people can watch it and get it right, and make sure that we're delivering a high quality product to everybody to watch at home and enjoy it with us.
absolutely. Now, of course, the progress guide. So it's going to be a few people spotted about the entire collective weekend. We've got the Defy Wrestling show where the progress champion will be reuniting with Chris Brooks as CCK. They're going to be facing the Moonlight Express, which is the team of Speedball Mike Bailey and Mal from DDT Pro Wrestling. That's going to be one hell of a match.
Yeah, that'll be amazing. And Mal was over in the UK with us just the other week, so brilliant
Mm.
competitor. And obviously, we've had CCK back in the day at TNT, ringing out for them when they were CCK. I'm trying to think who they face now at TNT. That's a good quiz question for you. Have to Google that one. But yeah, definitely ringing out to those guys in together. It'd be brilliant for them to be back together. And I just wonder. I wonder what Lycos 2 will be doing. I wonder if he'll be involved in that. Be intriguing to see. But yeah, that's the Wednesday morning, I believe, is it the Defy show?
Yes, yeah,
Thursday
that's going to
morning.
be
Wednesday, Thursday, let's try. Thursday.
Thursday. There we go. That's going to
Yeah,
be
looking
a
forward to
great
that
show.
one. Should be good. And they've got some other brilliant matches on it as well. That'll be a cracker though, that to see that reunion.
Absolutely. And then Luke Jacobs and Gene Money are going to be part of the BMF Battle Royal, which I'm guessing stands for Big Mother somethings. It looks like it's
Truckers.
going to be a meaty battle royal, but I'm sure that's going to be a great one. Man like the Reese is going to be part of GCW's For the Culture. He's got an excellent matchup against Sonny Kiss.
Oh, that'll be excellent. Yeah, brilliant stuff.
We have Boisterous Behavior, the team of Man Like the Reese and Leon Slater. They're going to be part of the GCW JCW versus the World show. a four-way tag team match with WXW's Amboss, the team of Robert Dreisker, and 16-karat gold winner Lawrence Roman, DDT's Mao and Yoshiko, as well as the Los Makisos, Siko Play, and Miedo Extremo.
Yeah, I ring announced to those guys earlier this year. Spanish is not my first, second, third, or fourth language, unfortunately, but I did my best to get their announcement for them. And also, Yoshihiko has been at TNT this year as well and had an amazing four-way match, which is definitely one you want to go back and have a watch of.
Live.
Which featured...
It was a really fun match. First time ever getting to see Yoshiko live. I was really happy because I really wanted to see Mao. I've never seen Mao live, so I was really glad I got that opportunity at TNT Extreme Wrestling.
I hadn't anticipated Yoshihiko to come off the balcony in such a way. It was incredible.
Oh God, yes. Oh yeah, when he got thrown up into the commentator booth. I'd like to shout out WXW's Gil Blanc, also going to be part of the GCW JCW World Show. He's going to be facing off against Jordan Oliver. That's going to be a superb match. I think they recently competed in a match in France for Reese in France.
Yeah.
I know somebody you're quite well known with is UK MMA fighter, deathmatch enthusiast, wrestler Lou Nixon, just a bad man.
Lou's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Known him for
He's
a
going
long
to be
time.
he's going to be part of this year's Bloodsport, and I know he's super excited for this. He's something I know he kind of campaigned for himself to be part of it. And
He deserves it. I hope he does
yeah,
well. Hope he does well. Seen him at Rise a lot of times. He's done TNT with us, obviously, and at Kumite as well in the UK. So it's somebody who deserves to get this opportunity. And like people like Big F and Joe, who were big in that sort of deathmatch scene. Lou is somebody who deserves to break out and be seen in the States. And I think that'll be amazing. I'll do my best to be there to support him for that. So great stuff.
yeah, so that's Josh Barnett's Bloodsport, against Eric Hammer. I love the idea of Bloodsport. I think we need to do some sort of Bloodsport here in the UK. Maybe you could have a word with Josh, get him to bring it over.
You never know. I'm sure. I'm sure there's a few people have got ideas about that already. You know what they're like in Liverpool and Leeds.
There's some absolutely talented guys out there in the UK wrestling scene who have legitimate MMA, karate, and wrestling background. So I think it definitely could be done. Session Moth Martina is going to be representing GCW for GCW versus Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling. She's going to be facing off against Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling star Raku, who I don't know much about, unfortunately,
Yeah,
but I'm
similarly,
sure it's
not
going to be
someone I'm
great.
familiar with, but I'll do my best to go and support Martina and see what happens there. That'll be interesting. I met a lot of the team from Joshi Pro last year, but didn't have much chance to chat to them. It was just they hopped over to see us at our table when we were at WrestleCon last year, and we sort of said hi to everybody, but we didn't have a chance to chat. So it'd be amazing to see some of them in action as well, and hopefully get over to the UK at some point. Some of the team as well.
Indeed, I think they have a show also later themselves, their own show, which Rio was going to be part of. Or I know Rio was announced for something with TJPW, but I can't remember what it was, and I couldn't find it for today's episode. At first, I thought she was supposed to be part of the GCW versus Tokyo Joshi Pro, but obviously it's not that one. But I'm sure it's going to be great, and
But it's
Rio
so
deserves
exciting
it.
when you're out there in Philadelphia, especially for the wrestlers, because opportunities do crop up all the time, especially with people wrestling so many matches in such a short space of time. You might find someone picks up a knock or an injury or something. We don't want that to happen, but it's good that there's so many people there ready to step up and take opportunities as well. So you just never know who's going to appear or step up. One thing I noticed was that our good friend of ours, Blue Payne, who wrestles at TNT, is going to be taking on Matt Cardona as well at some point over the weekend. I think that's a Joey Janela spring break, if I heard correctly. But
Yes, you are
That's a
correct.
huge opportunity for I believe Blue Pain is the name we're meant to call him. I call him the Big Red Acted Machine, but
Yes, that's what I go with, the big red vacuum machine. I love that. Yeah, I can't. I'm sure Blue, he's going to be.
Blue Pain.
I'm sure he's ecstatic to be taking on Matt Cardona. I know Matt Cardona is really happy to be getting some sort of revenge on somebody who once maybe threw him off a ramp. But TNT
Exactly.
Extreme Wrestling are also going to be in action, not in the US, but here in the UK in Liverpool, which is going to be two great shows: TNT Ignition show, TNT Extreme show. They're going to be unveiling a brand new what they call mats. For the wrestling ring with which we're on.
Canvas is it you're talking about?
Uh, what am I talking about? The cover, the ring cover,
The canvas, yeah, the ring
the
canvas, yeah, with
canvas.
the
Yes.
yeah, yeah. I've seen it. It's got my name on it. I'm buzzing about that.
I'm on there, and we're going to be on there as Teen Tights. We've got our little area
Of
in one
course, yeah,
corner,
yeah. Saw
so
the logo, yeah. Oh,
I'm
amazing.
super excited to see that unveiled and get a few photos with it. I'm sure Jay is a fantastic guy, and I'm really looking forward to being out there for both of these shows. We'll try and get through as quick as we can. We'll bring out maybe a couple of these matches. TNT Ignition, you've got Max Brooker versus Jack, and I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Is it Critchlow?
Richie, the Critch Dog.
Yes, the Critch Dog.
Liverpool's own. He's as bad as Tate Mayfair's him. Absolute troublemaker. He was chased. We were at Kingdom of Wrestling in Southport a couple of weeks ago, and didn't think he should be speaking on the mic, so I ran off with him with the microphone. He chased me a couple of laps around the ring and finally got it. There's a great photo of me when he started talking. Wasn't impressed.
Yeah, he's got
But
plenty of personality. Let's say that.
oh, he's brilliant. He's going to be a big star, that guy. And he's taken on Max Brooker, who's someone who's worked so hard. He's someone who's really come up through wrestling. Putting up the rings and doing all sorts of tasks to help backstage and something. And all the time he's been honing his craft to the level now where he's a really great wrestler and somebody you definitely want to check out. And he's only just won the King of the Ring Crew Championship, so he definitely isn't going to be dropping that to Critchy. So, yeah, that's going to be interesting to see what happens there. But one thing I meant to say was actually the show is actually it's going to be my 10-year anniversary of being at TNT. So, it's going to be, but unfortunately, I'm not there, obviously, with being in the States. But yeah, going off big time was my first show that I did for them in 2015. So it's like it's going to be the 10th one of those that we've done. So it'd be it's a shame that I'm not there for that one, but I'm sure they'll have somebody suitable to step in and do the ring announcing role for you. It'll be a great weekend, and there's some really good matches as we're about to discuss. There's some great matches lined up, and some big stars there over the weekend as well. So if you can't make it to Philadelphia, Liverpool is definitely the next option for you to watch WrestleMania as well, with the Hooked On Events party and everything afterwards. So there's all sorts going on.
Indeed, yeah, it's all about collaboration right now with the UK wrestling scene and beyond. So, as you mentioned, some great matches here. We've got Lucy Sky versus Millie McKenzie defending the TNT Ignition Women's Championship.
Yeah.
Casey Payne versus PL Dotson. That's going to be a big, beefy matchup. RPD and a mystery partner are going to be facing the Temple of Malum. That's the team of Isaac North and James Drake. Probably without Lana Austin on this occasion. Look forward to seeing
Rob
what
Drake.
comes of that.
Is it Rob Drake?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Rob Drake. Sorry, not James Drake. Of course, Rob Drake is going to be in action. James Drake, of course, his
I
famous big
think
brother.
I think I've done that on ring announcing before and got battered for it, but
Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna have to avoid Robert the show this weekend, aren't I? You've got Leon Gray versus Patrick Quinlan versus Lucia Lee versus KM Lane versus Tony Wright versus Brandon Lee. This is a power up
that's a heck of a
briefcase
lot of
scramble
talent all in
match.
one match there.
Indeed, I'll put he had such a breakout performance against Jordan Oliver at the last TNT Ignition show. I had so many props for that young man in that match because the crowd was cold. They were tired. They had seen two wrestling shows the night before. They were quiet for the good 5-10 minutes of it, but both of them worked their asses off, and the crowd was loud after the first 5 minutes.
That's it.
And
Bud is
fair play to
somebody
them.
we've seen for a long time, and he's very impressive. So yeah, looking forward to seeing more of him. It's a shame that I'm missing that one. That'll be one to watch for sure.
And then we've got MVK, the new TNT Ignition champion, taking on his former friend in Jimmy Jackson after MVK just randomly turned on him at the last show.
Real change of attitude, change of heart there from MVK. Disappointed in him there. So I have to see what's going on there. But Jimmy Jackson, someone who supported him and helped him as the tag team, and it looked like they were going so well, and then suddenly MVK just took the championship and he's turned on his friends. So yeah, we'll have to see what happens there. I'm a bit disappointed in MVK. I wasn't anticipating that from him.
Absolutely not. Very talented performer, MVK. Big, tall, athletic. Somebody really built for wrestling, if you ask me. That's going to be in the afternoon. I think it kicks off at 2 p.m. And then in the evening, it is the over 18 show, TNT Extreme Wrestling. Emerson James versus Big Effin' Joe in a TNT Extreme Division Championship match. Emerson Jane winning. DOA on the shows beforehand. Earned her deathmatch badge recently, competing in the Nick Gage Invitational for GCW. Such an incredible performer. That's going to be, it's just going to be incredible to watch, really.
Yeah, that'll be crazy, that one, because Emerson Jane did amazingly in death matches over the Merseyside Massacre and DOA weekend. But I just think Big Effing Joe is just the apex deathmatch wrestler. He's just the absolute alpha. And I think it's going to be really, really exciting, and it's going to be really, really violent. So, yeah, that's going to be a good one for the fans in attendance in Fusion Nightclub in Liverpool to watch that one. And, you know, Big Effing Joe wasn't at the last shows. So it's going to be interesting to see what he brings coming back, and especially to face Emerson Jane, who's
He's
obviously
had
picked up
some
the
words
DOA
about it.
championship. Yeah, well, I bet he has. He has a few words about everything, but we'll have to
uh,
see. He'll be saying the words after that matchup, because that's a huge opportunity for Emerson Jane, and it's do or die in that matchup. Definitely, I would say it's going to be
hmm.
brutal.
A battering explosive match between Sam Gradwell and Shigehiro Irie. The women's championship is going to be on the line. Lizzie Evo versus Casey. Ray Horace Jr. makes his debut for TNT Extreme Wrestling. He's facing Shay
Wow,
Monet.
that'll be
King.
amazing.
Mm,
Only the other week, Dr. Wagner Jr. and El Patron was speaking about Ray Horace being in Liverpool, and he's very excited to be coming to Liverpool. And they were excited for him. They were saying, they can't wait for him to be in Liverpool. And they were asking if I was ring announcing for him. I was like, not there for that one. But he's very excited to be coming over to Liverpool and showing what he can do. So yeah, that'll be an amazing opportunity for the fans of Liverpool to see Ray Horace in action. So brilliant stuff.
for young wrestlers out there, he's also holding a training session at the Claw Wrestling Academy. I haven't got a date on me here, but go check out Claw Wrestling Academy on Twitter or their social medias. I think it's £20 a session, so go learn from
What an
an
opportunity.
amazing
And
luchador.
Law at the moment has got some of the best wrestling training in the UK. Dean Allmark, I did some wrestling training back in the day. I know it might not look like it, but Dean Allmark, I believe, is one of the best wrestling trainers in the business. And he's training there at the moment, as is Lizzie Evo and Sonna Durson, I believe, as well, is taking
Yeah.
some classes. So to have them sort of trainers, if you're going there every week, you're gonna pick up what's going on very quickly. And to have special guests like Ray Horace coming in to do a special one, that is something wrestlers in the UK should flock to. Make sure you're there for that, because that weekend there's already so much going on. Get to Liverpool, watch WrestleMania, watch TNT, and go and train with Ray Horus. That's an opportunity for an aspiring wrestler in the UK. That's where you want to be that weekend.
Absolutely. Kings of the North return to TNT Extreme Wrestling to take on Skull Bro or Skull Bro, which is Caleb Valhalla and Faith Boy Aspen. An interesting tag team. And Bullet.
Brilliant promos from them guys.
Yeah, that was quite entertaining.
Excellent stuff.
And you've also got Bullet versus Leighton Buzzard. Leighton Buzzard, he's come back from BJW just even better than he already was, and he was great already.
I already liken him to like a Mr. Perfect, like a second coming of
Oh,
Kurt Hennig, and
yes.
I just think he's absolutely brilliant, and like the fact he's been able to sort of hone his craft in Japan and come back to the UK, just brilliant. Looking forward to seeing that one. I'll definitely be watching that back on Progress Demand Plus. But the interesting thing is he's running into the best super heavyweight in the United Kingdom, which is Bullet. And obviously, them two are in the collective together in Soft Pro, so they've got something else to prove there between themselves, because obviously they're buddies. And, I think this is Bullet probably saying, you've been to Japan, but let me show you what I can do. And, this is going to be two guys who, are friends, who are going to really put it on the line and show what two super heavyweight athletes can do. And, it's going to be a hell of a day in the office for Leighton Buzzard that day going against Bullet, I tell you.
Indeed. I really look forward to that match. I think the one that for me, which I really feel will be the match of the night, will be Lizzie Evo versus Casey. Two phenomenally talented wrestlers, best unsigned wrestlers in the planet right now. I really can't believe Lizzie Evo is everywhere in the world.
It's so good. The Live Bed, the Scouse Goddess, Lizzie Evo, been amazing to see her progression over the last couple of years. And of course, that feud she had with Alexis Falcon at TNT. It was an absolute honour to ring announce all the matches for that and to be there for those. There was a couple of epic encounters between those, and Casey herself has been involved in that women's division for a long time. The She Wolves have been at TNT, right from the start, and have told a massive part of the story, and is what's made TNT so popular, as well as not just deathmatch wrestling. There's been it's like UK's very own ECW, I would say. It brings a bit of everything, So yeah, and Casey's been such a huge part of that. So this is that's going to be a fight, and in Lizzie's hometown, she does not like to lose in Liverpool. So yeah, that's going to be an interesting one for sure.
Absolutely. And we've been talking about a lot of working together, partnerships, and TNT Extreme Wrestling have two lots of upcoming shows alongside Banger Zone Wrestling, formerly Bodyzoid, a French Belgian promotion that uses stars such as Mike DiVecchio, Gil Blanc, Senza Volta, Ultima Sombra, Sweet Boy MBM, Juxon's Name, and many, many more talented French Belgian wrestlers. They also do have a lot of Brit Wres connections. The current tag team champions are none other than CPF, Joe Lando, and Danny Black right now. The TNT Extreme Championship has previously been defended on a Bodyzoid show. That was Charles Crowley against Trent Seven, back when Charles Crowley was the TNT Extreme champion. So we've got a first show in Belgium, 21st of April. Are you going to be there?
Unfortunately, not at that, even though we're doing progress on the same day. So I'm at progress that day. But yeah, I was hoping to be in Belgium, but just unfortunately the dates clashed. So it's going to be an interesting one, though. I know for sure all the team are looking forward to being in Belgium. I'll be in Camden Town that day at the Electric Ballroom. But later on in the year, the Belgians are coming over to the UK. I believe it's the 1st and 2nd of June. So
Yeah.
looking forward to working with everybody then. That'll be exciting. And
Yeah.
and yeah, it's going to be it's just great as well that so many UK companies are doing great things on it's a shame they're on the same day. It's like my calendar, I'm just like looking at it, and it's sometimes very frustrating that you can't, you want to do a show and you've got another show on the same day. But it's just got to do what you got to do, and it's a shame I won't be able to go to Belgium unfortunately that weekend. But wish all the team the best of luck, and I know they'll smash it out there, so it'll be amazing.
The show will, of course, be on Triller TV a few weeks after the show goes live. So if you want to find anything out about Banger Zone, about formerly Bodyzoid Wrestling, they're available on Triller TV. I recommend you go check them out, get to know some of these guys. I do know the Ultra X champion, man like Doris, will be at the 21st of April show in Belgium, and there's already merch available for pre-order. And then quickly, we've got Progress doing the Pro Wrestling Noah Tour. That is the 6th of November in Edinburgh, Saturday the 7th of November in Manchester, Sunday the 8th of November at the home of Progress, the Electric Ballroom, Camden, London. Names like Yohei, Jack Morris, and LJ Cleary, the guys from the GLC, the good looking guys. We've got Kaito Kiyoma, Masa Kitayama, Noichi Marufuji, as well as the Lycos boys already announced for the show. It's going to be an incredible. I mean, what else can we say about it?
Going to be really special weekend. Yeah, an absolute honor to work alongside Noah and for them to bring their top stars over to the UK for the first time in quite a few years. So yeah, really excited for that one. Just if you see me that weekend, feel free to get me a Starbucks.
I'm hoping to be at all three shows from where I'm located. I can get to Edinburgh, then to
Same
Manchester,
here.
then to London. That would be such a great run. I'm looking forward to doing it. And then, of course, you're teaming up with Pro Wrestling Noah as well as Pro Wrestling Defy. Progress Wrestling are going to be part of the WXW World Tag Team Festival, a joint super show. The Tag Team Festival taking place from the 4th of October to the 6th of October. That show in particular is on the second day of the festival, the 5th of October. We do know that Pro Wrestling Noah stars Hideki Suzuki and Tim Thatcher have already been announced for the World Tag Team Tournament itself, so will likely be part of the show. Are you able to give us any more information? Can we get any more out of you?
No, not for that. It'll be a tightly kept secret that until well, you'll have to watch the social media to check it out. I think you'll hear a lot more about that in the weeks leading up to it, but I think it's going to be epic. To be fair, that the tournaments out there in Germany are something very special. I'm looking forward to being there. Not
Me
been
too.
over for a lot of the fans who I've spoken to. It's something I've wanted to get to over the last few years, but then I've always been booked in the UK for shows at the same time. So I would always take a ring announcing role over going to in as much as I'd like to go and
Yeah,
enjoy
of
it.
course.
I've got to actually do my job. So yeah,
Of
amazing opportunity to go and see that, and it'll be great. So any fans who are thinking of going, I still think there's the possibility that Wrestle Tours might be doing something for it. To keep your eyes peeled for that, because it might be a fact that we could all travel over together and have a great time. And I doubt
I'd
they'd
love
let me
that.
drive a minibus, but you would never know.
I would absolutely love that. That would be good, actually, if Russell Tours do. I will be talking to Sassler about it just before, and again, great group of guys over at WXW. Title Wrestling, as you are the general manager of Title Wrestling, they've got the show going on the 5th of May. Two matches announced. You've got the men's world title on the line, the women's world title on the line. Scotty Rourke versus Robbie X.
What a
That's
match!
And then we got Nina Samuels versus Lana Austin again. One
Amazing. So lucky to be able to have these superstars available to come and work in Huddersfield with us that weekend. And that card, there's a few big things still to come for that show. It's going to be, I think, Title's biggest show to date, and it's going to be very, very special. The tag teams tournament is going to start on that show as well. Ace announced it at the last show that it's going to be the Chase the Ace Invitational. I can clarify that it is only going to be 8 teams in the tag team tournament. Chase was suggesting that it was going to be 64 and would last for 3 years. We should have the tag team tournament wrapped up by the end of this year. So
there are some great tag teams here in the UK, so I really look forward to seeing who gets announced. And then, of course, we'll quickly plug on the realwrestling.net your Mad Dog monthly news, which is almost like a British wrestling newsletter that you do every month over for realwrestling.net, where you talk about everything from Tidal and TNT Progress and more. Is that right?
Yeah, it's just like an update of what I've been doing in wrestling, and it has some little sneak peeks of some secret things that you might not normally hear about, and a few behind the scenes bits of gossip and stuff, and just covers the shows that I've been on during the month. So this month's is just about to drop, and it includes the Love of Wrestling when we were there. Obviously, it'll have Diamond Dust in it as well. So and a couple of other bits I did, as mentioned at the start, I did All Star and PEW. So there'll be a few mentions in there about that, and also leading on to what we're going to be doing in Philadelphia as well. So what we've chatted about today, there'll be a bit of a preview of that in there, and of course the link for the charity donation for the Marie Curie for the Rocky Steps run, and I'm still thinking I might be trying to put some bets on people run up them Rocky Steps. We'll have to find out exactly who's competing. If we'd had a little bit more time to get that organised. We could have put some odds out for you online and got Paddy Power involved, but we'll have to think about that for next time.
I'm sure we can think of something excellent because, of course, Wrestle Tours, they have got the you've just started doing, I think, quotes for next year's show, or you can contact Wrestle Tours and get more information about what possibly is going to happen next year, because until a venue's decided, you don't know exactly what's going to be happening, but you have a
That's
rough
right.
idea.
But get signed up now because you don't want to miss out on that when you can be part of an amazing trip. And I think they've got it so you can just put a deposit down now and be guaranteed to be involved next year. So Wrestlemania 41, there's rumours swirling around where it's going to be. I'm looking forward to seeing the full announcement when it comes out, and it'll be it's going to be amazing as always. And the Wrestle Tours family will be there for you. Feel free to get involved, and as I always sort of say, anytime you want to reach out to me on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or via email, whatever's easiest for you. I have a mailbox set up, the Mad Dog mailbox now through Real Wrestling. So if you want to ask any questions, or if there's anything specific you'd like to ask me, feel free to drop me a message on there and I'll respond. And any good questions as well, I'll feature in the newsletter each month. So make sure to check that out. And obviously keep following Andy and TNT podcast. You guys do an amazing job. And I know it's always appreciated from like the wrestling companies when you guys like and retweet and share things that people are doing. And we'll always try and tag you in stuff so you can see what we're exciting stuff we've got coming up for you to keep you up to date. And just want to let you know that it is really appreciated what you do, and you do a great job. So thank you so much for taking the time to speak to me today. And also a huge thank you to all the fans who've listened. And contact any time and we'll help you out. And look forward to seeing anyone in Mania. Have a great WrestleMania weekend if you're in the UK. And get along and support TNT if you're in the UK. And if you're in Philly, we'll see you progress.
Indeed. Thank you so much for joining us today. I really very much appreciate it.
No worries at all. Thanks for having me.
Back with me now for the final part of this week's episode. A look ahead to all my top picks within the month of April. Big thank you to Mad Dog Mike Angus for joining me. We only had an hour, so we did concentrate mainly on the things that he was involved with coming up: TNT Extreme Wrestling, Progress Wrestling, and of course Wrestle Tours and Tidal Wrestling Championship. But let's talk about what's happening April 1st. Rev Pro UK live in Southampton. Now live in Southampton. Where is Southampton? Live in Southampton 29. They've got a great show lined up with some big matchups. Of course, this will be coming off the back of the Revolution Rumble, which is taking place today. This episode gets released. So this 1st of April show in Southampton will, of course, give us everything that happened in that show. And I'm really looking forward to seeing that show myself. So it should be a great one. But let's talk about some of these matches. Mike DiVecchio versus Oscar Lubra. This is going to be intense. Oscar is one of the most intense, hard-hitting people I know in wrestling. Mike DiVecchio is the Belgian War Machine. You've heard me talk about him before. Big guy, athletic, hugely intense. As I say, this is going to be a great match. Robbie X versus Aguil Blanc. Of course, both Mike Del Vecchio and Aguil Blanc, part of the Revolution Rumble, which took place the day before for the April 1st. But Robbie X and Gil Blanc, two of the top cruiserweights in Europe, if not the world right now. Luke Jacobs versus Shigehiro Irie. They've met a few different times. I believe Jacobs holds at least one win over him. Irie definitely holds a win over him, so time to settle the difference. GYV, the Grizzled Young Veterans, are going to be in Southampton. Will they have the tag team championships? Of course, they are facing Subculture for the tag team championships at the Revolution Rumble. They're going to be facing Sunshine Machine. Be interesting to see if this will be for a tag team championship match. Anthony Ogogo is going to be back in the Rev Pro UK ring as he takes on Shah Samuels as he continues to work through the best and brightest from Rev Pro UK. Very recently, of course, a big win over RKJ back at High Stakes, and a big win very recently against Robbie X, I believe it was live in Sheffield. Big knockout victory, so he's on the way up. Match I'm really looking forward to: JJ Gale versus Josh Alexander, TNA Impact Wrestling TNA. Josh Alexander, JJ Gale, phenomenal young talent from Rev Pro UK. He's got so much to give. I'm looking forward to seeing how he continues to develop. This will be a huge match for him, and we'll see whether he comes out on top. Now let's get over to some of the stuff going down over Wrestlemainia weekend. We're not going to be covering progress, as I said. The GCW Collective, we did cover that with with Mad Dog Mike Angus. However, I don't believe I did enough for TNT Extreme Wrestling, so we will be just recovering that briefly to talk about a couple of matches that we maybe didn't mention when I had Mad Dog yesterday. First of all, Friday, April 5th, Pro Wrestling Eve, Wrestlemainia. I've talked about this match for the last 2 times on the TNT podcast. Charlie Morgan versus Alex Windsor. No time limit, no DQ. The loser must leave Pro Wrestling Eve. Just such a huge match. I'm sorry, but I've said it again for the last 2 weeks. If you know Eve, you know your history with Eve, Charlie Morgan and Alex Windsor are just intertwined with it. At one time, Alex Windsor, Charlie Morgan, best of friends, tag team champions, all that jazz, and now they are the most bitter of enemies. And the only way that Dan, the promoter for Pro Wrestling Eve, manager for Pro Wrestling Eve, decided the only way to finally settle the score is possibly for one of them to leave Pro Wrestling Eve. I do think the women's War Games match is also going to happen on this card with Team Sapphire Reed versus Team Sesu Martina. Of course, Sapphire Reed has taken a dark turn since losing her championship rematch against Nina Samuels. She's on a mission to take out all of the elder people who take up space on the Pro Wrestling Eve roster as far as she's concerned. So she's targeted Session Moth Martina, but Session Moth Martina had some backup at their last show. It was LA Taylor and Operation SAS. That is the tag team of Sky Smithson and Nightshade. It'd be really interesting to see who's going to be on Team Sapphire Reed. As far as I know, there's been nothing on social media anyway. We don't know who our partners are going to be. Really looking forward to seeing that all come out over the next week, as well as some more matches announced for the show itself. As I say, Saturday, 6th of April, it is the TNT Extreme Wrestling's double feature, TNT Ignition and TNT Extreme Wrestling. You know, MVK at their last show won the World Championship and suddenly turned on his best friend, Jimmy Jackson. Really interesting match there. KC Payne versus PL Dodson. These are 2 big, violent gentlemen, so going to be a hell of a match. Lucy Sky has really made that TNT Ignition Women's Championship her own, and she's going to be facing off against Millie McKenzie. That's going to be a really exciting match. I do believe Lucy Sky actually defeated Millie McKenzie en route to winning the tournament that crowned her the TNT Ignition Women's Championship. It was a huge power-up briefcase scramble match Leon Gray, Patrick Quinlan, Lucia Lee, Cam Lane, Tony Wright, Brandon Lee. A lot of very, very talented young performers. RPD will be taking on the Temple of Malum with a mystery partner. Of course, at the last TNT Ignition show, it was Temple of Malum who cost RPD his title in a match against MVK, which led to MVK becoming the champion. Now RPD is out for revenge, but who will his partner be? Later on, later that evening, it will be TNT Extreme Wrestling. Looks set to be a fantastic show with Shigehiro Irie making his return or possibly debut for TNT Extreme. I can't remember what we said. That's really, really great match. There's the one match we didn't talk about, and it goes well with the collaborations that we've been discussing throughout this week's episode, and that is TNT Extreme's Going Off Big Time Extreme VIP match, which will be hosted by Atomic Pro Wrestling, another promotion out in Liverpool that helps to feature a lot of the claw wrestling talent and young performers out in the Northwest. Two-Bit, Chase Okada, Christy Quinlan. It's a very, very interesting match. The Skullbro, Caleb Valhalla, Faith Boy Aspen. I'm really looking forward to seeing Caleb Valhalla for the first time. Kings of the North, they are TNT Extreme Wrestling royalty, longest tag team champions, most defended tag team champions. I'm sure they're going to want their titles back. I'm sure they're going to want to make an example of Caleb Valhalla and Faith Boy Aspen, but it may be tougher than they think. Shane Monet has a great opportunity against Ray Horace Jr. Again, it's going to be insane levels of matchups at TNT Extreme Wrestling. Really, really looking forward to this show. And let's get it on, I say. I'm going to be there. So I'm really, really psyched for this show, of course, because they are unveiling their new ring canvas that, of course, we are featured on in our own little corner, the Teen Tights, plus my name, as well as Big Daddy Dan, Mr. Daniel Allen's name. Now, of course, we did briefly touch on it, and that is the fact that Banger Zone Wrestling and TNT Extreme Wrestling have formed a partnership which will see TNT Extreme Wrestling head to Belgium on the 21st of April. We do know so far that the TNT Ultra X champion, Man Like the Reese, will absolutely be there. There's a brand new t-shirt available for pre-order. I really want to get my hands on. Can somebody bring it home for me, please? Plus many other great matches. Names will be announced. Guys like Gil Blanc, Mike DiVecchio, Senza Volta, Ultima Sombra, Sweet Boy MBM, Jack Sonsonon, La Enfance de Terrible, Balzac Georges, Gustave Lebrun. There's some great matches that could be had, and of course the CPF, Just Joe Lando, Danny Black, steezing all over the place. They are the current tag team champions at Banger Zone Wrestling, who of course a French Belgian company. And I just want to shout out the fact that, because we're talking about collaboration, that when the WWE go to Lyon, France for their Backlash PLE, Banger Zone actually have a joint show with French promotion Rise for the same day. Although if you're planning to go to that France PLE, I do believe that the Rise Banger Zone collaboration show has already sold out, so there are no more tickets available. I do apologize. Maybe should have talked about it sooner on this show, and you might have had a chance to get there. Either way, going to be good. Banger Zone were actually in action just this past weekend. They had some great matches on it. Senza Volto versus Bobby Fish, Georges Balzac versus Leo Rush, Mr. Haikuro took on Rey Horace and Ultima Sombra. G Money was in action against MBM, Sweet Boy, Maverick Mayhew and Danny Black teamed together to face Shigehiro Irie and Tristan Archer, and Jacob Vado, the Amish wrestler, will be taking on Jack Sonsonon for their version of the TNT Extreme Division Championship. As I say, I really like Banger Zone, formerly Bodyzoid, all of their shows, including this one that will be available to stream on Triller TV, and I'm really looking forward to seeing this show. Anyway, 6th of April, Planet Wrestle Entertainment are in action in Leeds. Matches such as Jack Bandicoot versus Nathan Black, Eve Bateman versus Natalie Skies, Joe Wade versus Jay Vertigo. Planet Wrestle featured a lot of the performers that you see from Pursuit Pro Wrestling, the training school run by the incredible Liam Slater. It's just another place for them to showcase their talents. Lots of young, fantastic, up-and-coming wrestlers are going to be on this show, so 100% definitely should check it out. Attack Pro Wrestling have their Wrestlemainia on both nights of the Wrestlemania. Night 1 on the 6th of April will feature Eddie Dennis versus Harrison Bennett, Mark Andrews versus Nino Bryant, Jay Joshua versus Elijah, and Nico Angelo defends the Attack Pro Wrestling Championship against Danny Luna. Then, and I'm sure there'll be more matches to be announced, then on the 7th of April, it is Wrestlemania Night 2. You've got Nico Angelo possibly defending that Attack Championship against Jay Joshua. Two of my favorite wrestlers coming out of that world scene right now. Nino Bryant versus Eddie Dennis in a 2 out of 3 falls. This is after Nino Bryant has 1 win over Eddie Dennis. Eddie Dennis got a cheap roll up holding the tights win over Nino Bryant. So now we're going to settle it 2 out of 3 falls. Plus Elijah versus Emerson Jane. How cool is that match? I'm sure it's going to be amazing. North Wrestling are in action over the weekend. They were in action just this past weekend, in fact, with the North NCL Cup. I do have a bet on with Grapple Theory that I thought Henry Faust was going to win the NCL Cup. He thought that Miles Kamen is going to win the NCL Cup. He's out there live watching the show. I'm very, very jealous of him. It takes place this evening as I'm recording. It would have taken place yesterday on the day this episode will be released. I'd say, come on, Henry. You can do it for us. Go on, Faust. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, 6th and 7th, they do have a WrestleMania watch party at the Anarchy Brewery for both nights, and they've just announced their next show coming up in May. So make sure you check out some of these shows over the WrestleMania weekend. I'm sure a lot of these places, I know the TNT Extreme Wrestling, of course, have got their teamed up with Hooked on Wrestling to provide some watch parties for the after party of that show. 10th of April, you can see the stars of Atomic Pro Wrestling collide with the stars of Pursuit Pro Wrestling. We just talked about Pursuit Pro Wrestling. You'll see the likes of Dean Allmark, Liam Slater, Sam Bailey, Will Cruz, Harley Hudson, Tuba, Eve Bateman, Kemper, and more. I don't have the word place that has taken place. I do apologize, but I'm assuming either going to be somewhere in Liverpool, maybe York. Go check out their social media pages and you'll get that. 12th of April, one of our favorite promotions, Purpose Wrestling, are going to be back in action at the Merton Art Space in Wimbledon with Hypno Dancer. Michael Oku defends his Purpose Wrestling Championship against Sky Smithson. Plus, True and Lacey are taking on the East City Sovereigns as part of the Purpose Wrestling Tag Team Invitational Tournament of some description. 13th of April, True Grit Wrestling, Mayhem, they're in action. Lucy Sky versus Aurora Tevez. The Decibels versus Rio and Natalie Sykes. Wesley and Serico, who you may have seen, is now in the finals of Gladiators. He'll be in action against H.T. Drake. Scotty Rourke versus Jet Marshall. That is going to be an insane match. Big fan of Scotty Rourke. Big fan of Jet Marshall. Going to be a great match. And you've also got Rory Coyle versus Ace Matthews. I'm sure that's going to be really, really interesting. That is True Grit Wrestling Mayhem. I'm just going to find out whether that's in Leeds or in Norfolk. Northup. Bear with me just 1 second. I can't seem to find the date. Here we go. It is at the Numthorpe in York. So make sure you go check out that show, True Grit Wrestling in Numthorpe. Definitely worth checking out. Spinebuster Media hosts their first ever live show on the 14th of April at the Chelsea Theatre in London. See performers such as ZZ, Brady Phillips, Ivy, Harrison Bennett, Rio, Jay Joshua, Nina Samuels, Adam Bolt, Chantel Jordan, Anita Vaughn, and more. Big fan of Anita Vaughn. Go check out a tag team with Oscar when they teamed together over the WXW 16 carat Gold Weekend. Of course, my co-host from 2 weeks back, Dan Schuckmeyer from Germany, who was there. We reviewed the whole 16 carat. So go check out that show as well to see everything that went down over the 16 carat weekend. Back to Brit Wres. 20th of April, Pro Wrestling Chaos after another great show 2 weeks back with Dark Road to Chaos available to stream on their demand service. I have just finally got myself signed up, so I'm going to be checking out that show a little bit later today. They are back in action on the 20th of April. This will see a new undisputed King of Chaos as the All Wales Championship and the King of Chaos Championship will be united. Champions Nico Angelo, he was the All Wales champion, and Connor Mills, who was the King of Chaos champion, will face off. The match has now been turned into a fatal four-way and will also include Harrison Bennett and Eddie Dennis. You know, again, great company. I love the fact that they're pushing stars like Nico Angelo, Connor Mills, and Harrison Bennett, some fantastic young talents. The new Maiden of Chaos champion, Kanji, will be defending the championship against former champion Livy Grace, who she defeated back at All Roads Lead to Chaos, and I'll be checking out that match. Plus, Severance will be in action. Joseph Connors, Tate Mayfairs, James Ellis, and Mulligan. Great faction. They're facing off against Team Chaos, which will be Flash Morgan Webster, Wild Boar Mike Hitchman, and Danny Jones in a steel cage match referred to as the Cage of Chaos. Who will be the fourth partner for Flash Morgan, Wild Boar, and Danny Jones? Could it possibly be Brendan White, who had a great rivalry with Flash Morgan Webster on Pro Wrestling Chaos? Also, LJ Cleary is going to be back in action, a part of a stopover from Pro Wrestling Noah. On the 20th of April, you've also got Rev Pro UK Epic Encounter. That's in Stevenage. Yep, going to be bad. We don't have any matches lined up anymore right now, but it is Rev Pro UK. You can pretty much guarantee it's going to be a great show. Epic Encounter is always typically one of their biggest shows of the year. Stevenage shows at the Gordon Craig Theatre usually fits between 800 to 1,000 people at the show, so should be fantastic. 21st of April, Ignite Pro Wrestling. Our friends over at Boreham Wood, Ignite Wrestling Pro. Sorry, it's not Ignite Pro Wrestling, it's Ignite Wrestling Pro. Got to remember that. They've put together another sleeper banger show. Really need to get yourselves down to see this show. CPF versus the Bryans. Just Joe Lando and Danny Black versus, I believe it is, Xander and Nino. Tommy Kyle versus Adonis Payne for the Ignite Championship. Smashing Mike versus James Ellis for the Hitting the Turnbuckle Championship. Of course, Ignite Wrestling working in tandem with the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast. Aluna versus Sapphire Reed. Taylor James versus Jack Torreno, a former tag team known as the Rebellion. Sad to see them split. They never really got their flowers that they truly deserved. They were a great tag team. Plus, recently announced Jay Joshua, Corey McRae, and Mark True in a #1 contenders match for that HTTB championship that we talked about. That is 3 of the baddest mofos in Brit Wres. Corey McRae, Mark True, Jay Joshua all have legit backgrounds, are all legit dangerous, man. That is some hell of a match. Fair play to putting that one together. Also on the 21st of April is Progress Wrestling's show dedicated to us. 1 bump or 2, because of course it is National Tea Day. It has nothing to do with us here at TNT. It's just National Tea Day, the 21st of April. And you can go see Progress Wrestling for 1 bump or 2. Again, no matches have been announced. but it's going to be a Progress Wrestling show. You can probably tell it's going to be a good show. It's going to be the Electric Ballroom in Camden. We mentioned it earlier. 26th of April, Attack and New Wave have their first live at Club 100 show. And a really awesome match has been put together between Mark Andrews and Shane Hooker. Battle of Generations. Mark Andrews, easily one of the best high flyers to ever come out of Wales. Shane Hooker is one of the youngest amazing talents to come out of Wales right now, a high flying genius at such a young age. Really expect that to be a great match. 27th of April, you can go check out Brit King Pro. I haven't put down where they're going to be. Terrible. My notes are all over the place. But I know it's going to be a great show. 27th of April for Brit King Pro. They have matches such as Ben K versus Ben K versus Brian Kendrick, Mochizuki Jr. versus Nico Angelo. That's going to be awesome. And Tiger Ali versus Sami Zayn. So let's see when this 17th of April show is taking place. Sorry, 28th of April. No, that's the wrong one. We want the 27th of April one. Oh, they've got so much stuff happening over at Brit King Pro right now. 28th of April, they're in Redditch. We'll be talking about that show in just a minute. But where are they taking place on the 20? No, that's not the right one either. Bear with me just one more second. It's 27th of April. They are in Bristol. There we go. Finally, 27th of April. Brit King Pro are in Bristol. Ben K versus Brian Kendrick. Mochizuki Jr. versus Nico Angelo. Tiger Ali versus Sami Zayn, and more matches to be announced. Great show. Of course, that connection with Dragon Gate really shining through for them. I know they have an on-demand service coming soon. It may be available now. I'm not quite sure if it's up there yet. I'll have to double check. Ultimate Pro Wrestling are in action at the Weymouth Pavilion in Weymouth, of all places. TNA Wrestling versus Superstar. Steve Macklin will be competing against Adam Maxted for the UPW Championship. That should be an absolutely fantastic match. It is Spring Brawl at the Weymouth Pavilion, Weymouth. That's not all. LJ Cleary will be in action against Leighton Buzzard. This will be the first time the two performers have faced off against each other since both of them have been out to Japan. LJ Cleary with Pro Wrestling Noah and Leighton Buzzard with Big Japan Pro Wrestling. One match I'm super excited for definitely would be Ian Skinner, one of our favorites. Our boy Ian Skinner. He's going to be taking on Jay Joshua. Again, another huge favorite. This is part of the Pure Grand Prix, which means the match will be under Pure Wrestling rules from ROH. Really excited for that. Aisha will be defending her UPW Women's Championship against Livy Grace, and Nina Samuels will also be in action. As I mentioned, Brit King Pro are in Redditch on the 28th of April. You've got Tiger Ali Tiger Ali teaming with Ben K against Brian Kendrick and Sami Zayn. Chris Ridgway versus Mochizuki Jr. Oh, that is going to be insanely good. And Kurt Atlas versus Eddie Ryan. Should be some great shows happening down in April. It really is. Try and get yourselves out to as many shows as possible. I know I'm going to be about, as I say, with the TNT Extreme Wrestling show due to the fact that I'm unveiling the canvas that will feature the TNT podcast logo. Really excited about that. Really excited about British wrestling. We talked about all these collaborations that are going down. International collaborations, collaborations happening at home here in the UK. It's just amazing to see, and we should all be proud, and we should definitely all continue to support independent wrestlers. So with that said, I'm going to sign off now. Remember to support independent wrestling, support independent wrestling promoters, support independent wrestlers, and support independent podcasts that support independent wrestlers. Have a great one.